Oh man, oh man, oh man, oh man. It's been forever since we've done a live and it shows because I just screwed up the entire opening. I got to do lives more often, guys, because yeah, that was a whole mess. I was feeling really good about it. I had the music playing, I had the countdown going, and doing what we normally do, and I forgot to push go live. So, oh man, Morning Dove, how are you? Thank you for coming in. Amy Joe, what's happening? How are you? I'll turn this microphone down a little bit. I think I'm just blowing everyone's ears out. Try to get somewhat of a comfortable level there. We've got Happy Official in. What's going on, Andrew? And we've got Miss April Mancino in the house, aka Little Italy. Well, we just have a bunch of people who just boom showed up. So who all do we have here? We have Rebecca. Hey, Rebecca, what's going on? How are you doing? Thank you so much for popping in. Amy Joe, again, thank you so much. It's good to see you as well. And look at this. Oh, you're looking great, aren't you? We've got Voices from Beyond. If you're not familiar with from Beyond, this is Marie and Pierre, based out of the UK. Morning Dove. I set an alarm. Well, I'm happy somebody did because I completely screwed up the opening, as I was saying earlier. It's been forever since we've done a live. I had everything set up, I had everything scheduled, everything was great, we were looking good, and I had the countdown going. I even had music playing in the background. I had the opening going, and I forgot to push go live. That one silly little button, and I forgot to press it. So, well, Marie, that wasn't supposed to be a British accent. But yes, I will stop. And the names are coming out, and well deserved. Well deserved. Happy Official, who is a DJ out of Vegas that I've known for a few years now. Andrew's his name, one of the funniest guys I have ever met in my life. We used to work for Fear the Walking Dead together. So, yeah, good times there. Ilya, what's going on? How are you? So you've got the Mandalorian as your avatar. There is a meme going around right now that I absolutely love. It is Bat Mandalorian, and it's this dude who built this Batman costume, but in a Mandalorian style, and I absolutely love it. And for those of you who don't know, I am a huge, huge Batman fan, and so whenever I see something like that, I absolutely love it. Good because it wasn't. No, it was not intended to be a British accent. You can share it with us now or on. So if you have been to these lives before, you will probably know that at some point my bladder is going to go out on me. And so I built it up to where we now have a be right back slide that pops up. And, for forever, it was just, unfortunately, you guys were just sitting around waiting until I came back. So, so yeah. Ilya, you are not a nerd. Actually, you are a nerd. And I am happy that you are a nerd. I, too, claim nerdism. Okay. Okay, so it's gotten to a point to where I can't talk to Happy that much on the phone anymore because he does this accent. He's part Filipino, and so he does this accent, this Filipino accent that just it drives me nuts. And I mean that in a good way because I can't ever get anything done whenever he's talking to me. So, yeah. It's an you know, I am not going. Okay, so it's an age thing. Okay, so here's the thing. I have no problem with aging. I understand that it happens. Everything ages. I have a problem with getting old, and so yeah, I understand certain features of the body will start changing after some time, but I refuse. I refuse to completely get old. You know what? Normally it is. Normally I do have a monster drink here with me. I do not have one this go around. I'm kind of rocking this Zevia right now. It's a 0 calorie. It's a sparkling water, but you wouldn't know it's a sparkling water. It tastes just like a soda. This is the black cherry, so I love these. And there's a lovely woman who lives out here by the name of Marion, who is the matriarch to the family that I know out here, who introduced me to these. And so, thank you. Good evening from the less pretty half of Voices from Beyond. So, ergo, we are now talking to Pierre. So, Pierre, welcome, welcome, welcome. And looks like slowly but surely we're gonna have some more people coming in, guys. It's been forever since we've done a live. We've had some more people join up, both with the Facebook group and with the YouTube page. And I thought it was just a good time for everybody to get together and just say hi. If there's any questions, do a Q&A, because we haven't really done an official Q&A in quite some time. So. And happy Memorial Day to you too, April. And yeah, the shirt. The shirt is American grown Irish roots. Yeah, my ancestry is Irish. And for those of you who may or may not know, part of her comment was, thank you for your service. I was 3P0X1 in the Air Force. For those of you who don't know, that is security forces. So that little beret up there, it is, up there, was part of the uniform of security forces. Oh, Morning Dove, we haven't spanked the like in quite some time. I don't know, maybe that's something that we can bring back. You know, I want to try something here, guys. I want to get your thought on it. We have an option now to where we can actually play some background music in this. And I want to know your thoughts. Do we want to have background music in this or no? And I can adjust the volume of it as well. And for those of you who are coming in, if I'm just sitting here, I apologize. I'm waiting for responses to come through. Oops, as I drop the mouse. So, we have been seeing a lot of changes taking place here recently within the paranormal world, not just on YouTube, but kind of across all platforms, where people are starting to be called out more. There's more people that seem to be wanting more truth, and we're seeing a lot more of the content creators coming out, and they're speaking up and out against these larger content creators, which is something that we wouldn't have seen prior. And I think more and more people are starting to get a little more fed up because more and more people are becoming more educated. So I'm curious as to what you guys think. Okay, so you say it's too loud? Okay, let me lower this. It's funny because like on my headsets I can like barely hear it. Am I trying to mesmerize you? Actually, you know what? You just gave me an idea. Sit back in your favorite chair, or lay down. Close your eyes. How does that work, guys? You think that would work? Close your eyes. Breathe in through your nose and let it all out. I don't know, maybe we could try some live meditations at some point. Let me know what you guys think. That might be something that we can possibly do. Never thought about it before until now. Until I heard what this sounds like through the headsets. It's like, oh, we can have some fun. We can have some fun with this. Oop. Sorry, I'm vibrating over here. I don't know what just happened. I guarantee you, I got a text from one of you who are on the live right now. Yes. Got a text from Happy Official. there was a slight threat in there with some bodily harm. So, Elia, ASMR radio. Interesting. I don't know if I can make enough subtle noise, though, to actually qualify as ASMR type radio. Just... Oh, that was kind of a creepy look that I just gave. Yeah, no one's gonna watch that. So it looks like the people who are in, as of right now, are people who we all kind of know each other to a certain degree. BSB Jones, what's going on? How are you? Honestly, guys, I really had nothing to say in this live. It was just to catch up with everyone, see how everyone was doing, and if there was anybody from who was new, if we wanted to kind of do a get to know you type thing, we could. Dawn, how are you? And thank you for that. I'm actually signed up with an agency where I had a Batman gig for a little while, a Lego Batman gig, which was actually a lot of fun. And they since do not need me anymore. But thank you for the kind words in regards to the experiments. Yeah, it's I was actually out at an abandoned cabin here recently. It's at a park that I enjoy, and I took the I took the ultrasonic device with me, which I actually have right here, and I did the entire session, and I got home and I was getting ready to go through all the footage, and I forgot to press record. So I have to go back and I have to do that session all over again. Florida is humid. I'm in Pennsylvania, western Pennsylvania right now, so I get the humidity. I'm originally from Vegas, and so, you know, we have, well, no humidity there. So you come out here, and you get that humidity with the heat. Now, Florida, I've only been to Florida 2 or 3 times, and it reminds me of Southern California, actually. But yeah, the humidity that you guys get compared to what we get out here is ridiculous. Oh, am I missing out on something? Am I intervention on the Okay. Yeah. Oh, it was. I felt so stupid. I got back and because the way I'm doing this now, guys. In fact, here, you know what? I'm getting all fancified. I've got. Where is the extra camera setting? I'm gonna show this to you because I can. Here we go. All right. So, my hand over here. So this is the ultrasonic device. So this is the doodad that I got. It is a music digitizer. And what this does is I can plug this in through a 3.5, where are we at here? A 3.5 millimeter jack into here, and I can record. I can go anywhere and I can record digitally from the ultrasonic device. And so I was there, I had everything set up, I was doing my session, and I was excited to get home. And this center portion right here, you have to press this for it to record. And I neglected to do that. So now I have to go back at some point this week and do the session over again so that I can have something for next Sunday. Otherwise, it might be a pause for the week and nothing will happen. Who knows? The bat box. That's what you guys call yours, right? Is the bat box? Yeah, well, it's I'm really good at the big stuff. Okay, so there's big things that need to happen. I can take care of those, but it's always that fine detail. It's that one little detail that I always forget, and I did it today, and I did it on the session. So Marie, who had from Voices from Beyond, Marie and Pierre, they have been tiptoeing into the world of ultrasonic recording, and it looks like they did a session and got some stuff. I would love to know more about what you got. In fact, I'm wanting to get Marie and Pierre on the podcast, because as you guys know, I've been tiptoeing into the world of podcasts as well. There's a lot of stuff that I usually have on my mind, and it's kind of boring to take care of it in a lot of ways in a live, and it's too much to really take care of in a 15-minute video, 20-minute video. So I've been tiptoeing into the world of podcasts, and so I've asked Marie and Pierre if they'd want to be on, because I'd love to get their opinion on just how things are changing and going on within the world of paranormal. Well, thank you for that. I don't feel so alone now. Wow, so we have a battle going on right now. Pierre is saying absolutely, while Marie is saying he may regret that. So, Marie, I am very well aware of who you are and how you act. That's why I want to have you on. I'm not going to lie, guys. I'm really enjoying listening listening to myself in this microphone. I'm not saying that to be conceited or to be narcissistic in any way. I'm I'm just really hearing it for the first time in this type of format. And yes. And it looks like we have Raphael in the house. Now, I want to give a shout out to Mr. Rafael Delgado here, because he is someone that I converse with on a pretty regular basis. He has a really good, solid understanding of how things work in electronics and experimentation, and so he and I will go back and forth a lot in regards to things that we could do with the ultrasonic device, how we can possibly make changes, make it better, things that we can try. He was the one who suggested that we try a loop antenna, which I actually have the loop antenna. I just need to wire it into the device as it is right now. Because if you take a look onto the opposite side of your screen, actually, I can plug this. I have these two wires right here are connected to the positives of the ultrasonic sensors. So they're acting as antennas, as they are, but they're bare wires. And so what I want to do is I have a loop antenna that is actually just right below me on a shelf that I want to connect to this, because a loop antenna should really improve overall quality. Happy, you have a lot of things to say about a lot of statements. That's part of the danger when you start to know people's dirty little secrets. Actually, Andrew, Happy here, he doesn't really have dirty secrets. He just has a fun lifestyle, I guess is is what you could say. No. I'm not going to tell your secrets. Yet, anyway. So how has everyone been? You know, it's funny, I can't hear the music, but I can hear that thing running in the background. I don't hear the music at all, actually. Can you guys still hear it? You know, it's weird. It looks like the responses are coming in as chunks right now compared to before. They would just slowly come in, but now, yeah, there's nothing, and then all of a sudden, boom, there's a whole bunch of responses. Weird. So you guys can hear the music. I can't hear it. That is so weird. So Ilya is saying that you may want to research different antenna lengths, and that is something that I am playing around with. The loop antenna is way down there. The loop antenna actually extends quite far, and I think I do need something that's a little bit smaller than what that one is, because here I'm going to show this to you. So I'm going to turn this on. Okay, so another thing, guys, that I found out. This came unplugged, so I don't know if you can see that or not. So this side doesn't work right now. I have to plug that part back in, but this side still works. This side's still pretty solid. Oops, sorry about that. So here. Sorry, Ely, I gotta take you off. So if we turn this on, so you can hear it when... So the wire is definitely live. So I just need to find another way to connect that loop antenna. Well, the whole idea of this initially was to pick up the fluttering of bats. That's why I want to take it out a little bit more, because when I've been doing sessions here, it's in a controlled setting. I want to get it out into real world a little bit more, to see if maybe either bats or even birds or other insects, if that will interfere with any of the sessions at all, because I don't know. Well, you know what? BSB, the music is coming from within the program itself, so it's not music that's outside. It's music that's within the streaming platform itself, and I would think that I'd be able to hear it, but I don't know. If you guys want the music off, or if you want a different type of music, let me know, and I can do that for you. Yeah, all I hear is that thing back there. But guys, I'm going to tell you, this is actually kind of cool, this setup. Should you decide you ever want to do this in the future for yourself. So this little box right here, it was like 25 bucks, and you can find them on Amazon or eBay. It just takes an SD card in the back, and all you have to do is plug it in. But you do need a battery source, so I do have... Oh, did I not bring the... Man, I'm just forgetting everything today. I thought I brought it with me. There is a connection cord that I need for this power block that will plug into this and power it, and it's portable. You know, it's kind of have loose pieces hanging around, so I got to figure out a way to deal with that. But outside of that, you know, it works great when you remember to press record. So, Don wants country western music. I don't see. Do we have that? Let me take a look and see if we have that checklist. You know, it's so funny that you say that, because the Air Force is huge on checklists, and so why I didn't have one, far beyond me, guys. I feel like super just dry and boring, and you know, there's no okay, so there's no country music. It looks like we do have rock. So I can hear a little bit of the drum beat in the background. So, old Nokia phones. Now, I have used phones for recording. In fact, my first trip out with this device to Fort Necessity, I used a phone just to see if it was possible to actually make it portable and make it work, and it seemed to work. So old phones, there's always a use for old phones. Either just for app storage, if you don't want if you want to do ITC sessions and you don't want to store them all on your main phone, if you have a backup phone, or if you have a phone that just you don't use anymore, put all your apps on that phone, or use it as a camera. Or I have up until recently, I had an old Samsung that I was using as a camera, specifically because Samsung has good lenses on their phones. So I love that picture, by the way, Michael. Not missing much in Vegas. Weather is really dry. I know that you guys had a lot of rain more so than normal fairly recently, and I know that the levels of Lake Mead have started to go up a little bit. I know you're really waiting on the snow melt from the Colorado mountains to take place, and hopefully that will help raise the Colorado River a little bit. See here, yeah. You know, I wasn't in long. I was released on a medical, actually. But yeah, I was in during the end of the first Gulf War, and so the National Service Defense Medal, yeah, that's that and the ribbon. That's what that's for, and plus my security forces badge. So I see that we have some people in here right now who they do paranormal investigation or they are doing ITC. If doing something with like this ultrasonic device is something that you're interested in, let me know, because it's not a hard build, guys. I mean, it's really not, and I've been really happy with the results that it's been giving. I'd like to make some more changes to it, but it's a slow process. So we have more people writing in. Thank you, April. I appreciate that. The lowest frequencies for recording on a player that I found here in the UK. A Creative Zen Vision. Interesting. I'm going to have to look into that. Coconut demons, anyone? Oh, the coke. I've got to do something with the whole coconut thing. I don't know what it's going to be yet. I thought about having shirts printed with coconuts on it, but I don't know how I could tie that in. You know, I gotta. If you guys have any idea of how we could tie in coconuts with saving ghosts, let me know and I'll do something with it. So Raphael says that he has a question. Absolutely. Where do you think these voices are coming from? Well, if you're referring to the ultrasonic device, it's all based on a theory that I have, guys, that that voice is nothing more than energy and frequency that travels on a wave. And if we are energy that's separate from the body, then energy doesn't die. That's what thermodynamics tells us. And so if you can still create words and speech through that energy, that conscious energy, I think that's where it's at. I think that's what this is capturing. That's what I hope this is capturing. It could be something completely different. There is a form of audio pareidolia that maybe this is tapping into a little bit. I don't think so, only because some of the responses that we've gotten have been pretty rock solid. Now, I will say, and Josh pointed this out when he and I were talking, that this is what I am doing with this is it is a form of EVP, you know, to where apps or other devices like that, they do provide a solid sound base for spirits to manipulate and turn into speech. What this does is we have a tone adjustment, so we have frequency pumping through this, but it's really just recording the air and the air movement and any sounds that are outside of our range of hearing that travels in that air. So that's what this whole experiment is. Now, if we didn't get anything on our first week of testing, then yeah, I would have trashed the idea or found other ways to improve upon it. But because we were getting things, we were getting devices or responses through it, you know, you can't ignore that, so you want to keep pushing forward. So Zen Player has a frequency response of 20 hertz to 20 kilohertz. So 20 kilohertz, okay. So now you're starting to get into that ultrasonic range. like this device here operates on the base of 20 kilohertz up to 100 kilohertz. So I'm curious to check out this Zen player then. Let's see. Oh. So you do. Interesting. I'll be curious to see what you come up with. And by the way, guys, I want to give a shout out to Marie and Pierre for their latest video that they came out with. Here's the thing, guys. You have channels like Voices from Beyond who have been on for 2 decades. And people don't really pay a lot of attention to them because they don't have the POW and the Zap and the WAP and all this other stuff that the bigger channels have, the ones who are possibly falsifying their responses. And so, from a creator's point of view, you do get frustrated when you feel like you're putting in a lot of work and no one's paying attention to you. So recently they came out with a video that voiced their concern about that, and they spoke out finally against these people who are manipulating their responses and their findings, and they were very respectful. They didn't give names per se, but finally said something about it. And so Marie and Pierre, I'm happy that you guys came out with that video. Good for you. Wait, do you have another video that's going to be coming out about that? Oh. Hey, buddy, stop. Hey. He's getting impatient because he's not getting attention. Ah, okay. I see it. Steve-O, what's going on? How are you? Thanks for popping in. We're not doing anything major. Right now, we're just basic chit-chat. If anyone has any questions, they are more than welcome to ask. Wait, did you delete the video that I was just talking about? I didn't think so. I thought I still saw it up. I didn't see anything wrong with it. Steve, I'm doing great, man. It's been forever since I've done a live, and the channel has grown a little bit more, and it's been a while since we've really just popped on, just said hi, and just did a Q&A, and just kind of got to know each other. So that's why we wanted to do this. So I'm doing great. We don't have a lot of people in right now, but as time goes on, it's one of those things where more people will start seeing it. This is just a get to know you type of thing. Oh, the post on here, Marie. Okay, all right. Sometimes you have to draw a map for me so I know exactly where our conversation is going. But now I'm not giving up on apps or anything like that. I am just so drawn into this idea for right now that I'm really just sticking with it. Yeah, normally in the past when I've done lives, I was doing sessions. And I'll probably do sessions again. See, my sessions have gotten a little bit different only because I'm not using apps as much anymore. And to be able to use the ultrasonic device, because you're recording air, you have to put it into an audio program like Audition or, what's that other one? I can't remember the name of it. But you have to be able to use your noise reduction and amplify the audio to be able to hear any voices that are underneath that top noise. So it's a little harder to do as a live. Dawn, definitely check them out. What Marie does in her sessions is something that not a lot of people do, because people are either using, a scanning radio, or they're using an app. What she does is really kind of old school. It's an analog AM FM manual tuning radio, and she just manually goes through all the stations herself. And it's really interesting to watch. I enjoy the fact that she's doing something different, and she's doing something honest. There's no fanfare, and I don't mean that as an insult in any way. I mean that as a great thing. There's a story to what's going on. There's someone specific that she's trying to reach, and just going through a scanning radio and a manual radio doing the scanning herself. And I think it's phenomenal. Yes, Audacity. Thank you. That was a program I was trying to think of. Have you ever created a Tesla radio? No, that is something that has been on the back burner for 2 years now, 3 years. It's something that I keep meaning to do. I keep thinking of doing. I have no reason to not do it. I just get sidetracked, and so that, if I remember right, that Tesla radio was a crystal-based radio, crystal-powered radio, and so I have found where you can get the parts. You can even buy the kits, and so yeah, I'm totally up for it. I just haven't done it yet, but I need to. Let's see. I've used sounds like through my box, and I get responses, and it's just sounds like water or air. There's a direction, and this is, let's see, with this and the spirits use it. And that's kind of where I think the idea is with this device here that I use is, for the most part, it's just recording air movement. That's really all it is. And so if we are to, actually, you know what? Nah, let's do it this way. And it's just capturing ultrasonic sound within that air movement. So turn the speaker on. So if you can hear that, that's just air movement. But then we go through the frequencies, and we can tune it. So we're at the very base right now, which is about 20,000 kilohertz. And then as we go up, to 100,000 kilohertz. I wonder, let's see if we can get the frequency of the microphone. I don't know what it would be. Yeah, I don't. Maybe we're right in there. So yeah. Now, okay, so I see that. Okay, so reverb and echo might help. So what I'm wanting to do, because in the stuff that I've built before, I have used echo, and I have used, or I've used reverb, and I've used noise reduction, because I'm trying to get sound that is in an area of audio that we can't hear. It's amplified a little bit through the amplifier board that came with this kit, basically. But I want to get another amplifier to plug into this, because basically what we have here is you have a control board underneath this that is basically from the nuts and bolts of an AM radio. So you have your on-off, then you have your frequency adjustment here, then you have your ultrasonic receiver that plugs into that, then your antenna. And so it has a built-in amplifier on both sides, but I think it's a fairly weak one. I think it's something that you might have in like a normal transistor radio. And what I want to do is I want to amplify that and bring that audio up a little bit more within that lower frequency. So I just have to get the amplifier board and I just have to put it in. Well, and Pierre, that's true, because I've kind of gone through the gamut, I feel, anyways, and I've really have gotten the basis of my answers. So right now I'm trying to figure out what area of this am I wanting to focus on. Right now it seems to be this, but we'll see what goes on. And we have Shams, who is in. Salvi, Shams, Salvi. Shams, if you have not seen Shams' YouTube channel, please do. She is phenomenal. Her team is great. And they have just a lot of, kind of like Marie has access to a lot of fantastic locations. Shams has access to a lot of fantastic locations. And so I am so happy that Shams is here. Thank you so much. And what I really enjoy about this is that you have a lot of people who you get to know each other, and it's such a small community. And that's why, we're starting to see more and more people speak out, because the fact it is a small community, and you have people who are trying to do good stuff. They're trying to do good work, and they can spot when someone's faking it. And so that's why we're seeing more and more people who are speaking out against some of these channels. I have done it. I've tried to do it in a respectful way, but I have done it. I know that Voices from Beyond has done it. There is a gentleman also in the UK, goes by the name of Beardo. Either you love him or you hate him, but he is someone who believes in the paranormal, and he's done paranormal investigations himself, but he's tired of the fluff and the fakery, and so he has a channel based on that. Shams, it is always, always good to see you. I was nervous for the longest time to speak out against anyone because I thought I couldn't. I thought I shouldn't. I didn't think it was my place to do that. But then, when you see what some of these people are doing, it affects you. Because if you have a channel, a big channel, who is debunked, and all of a sudden everybody who's in that genre is looped into that, and then you start getting attacked for something that you didn't even do. And so yeah, you start to speak out against it. See, I've noticed that channels like Slapped Ham, Goosebumps, have started saying in their videos that it could be a digital fakery or audio manipulation, which I found interesting. That is interesting. I didn't know that. See, I stopped watching them. And it seems like since all the drama with Zach Bagans has come out from Nick Groff, that more and more people, it's almost like that gave the world permission to come out and start saying, well, hey, I don't believe what you're doing is real. I think what you're doing is fake. So it's good to see that. And normally I wouldn't show off any of my credentials, but I felt like it was important that the viewing audience knew who they were getting their information from, because we have a lot of people out there who claim to be professional, but what makes them professional? What makes them an expert in their field? How do we know? You know, you just can't take someone's word for it. See, I watched them to exercise my eye rolls. It's a recent thing too, last 2 weeks or so. Interesting. That's actually very interesting, and you know, it's good to see that. You know, when I left Amazon to come over to YouTube, to bring the channel over to YouTube, I had some people in the paranormal field on YouTube reach out to me and tell me that, you know, sometimes stuff doesn't happen and you're going to have to take some creative license to make your video more interesting. And I thought, you know what? I don't know how I feel about that, because I had never ever before in my life been put in a position where I had to question, you know, my ethics or morals with this, because I just assumed that people were doing real stuff because I wasn't familiar with YouTube at the time. And then it dawned on me that, whoa, okay, maybe we're dealing with some sort of tabloid TV in a way. And then once you start doing it, if you're a construction worker and you know how a foundation is laid, you can tell by watching someone's video if they're following the proper steps, if they've laid down their gravel, and if they've laid down their moisture barrier or not. You know, you can tell if they're skipping steps or if what they're doing is not real. It's kind of the same thing with ITC or paranormal. And what I really love about the people who support me, and I thank you guys for this, is that I feel that all of you are intelligent. I feel that all of you, you've been there, you've done that, and you know, you can spot when something isn't quite right with what someone is doing. So I appreciate you guys. So Steve-O posted a few weeks ago on how I do my sessions and how it works. Transparency is important. Exactly. I have been screaming from the mountaintops, people, show your work. You know, remember math class? You know, show your work, show how you got there. You know, just don't. You know, this can, I was able to put my ear up to this can, and it's got frequencies in it, and I'm able to hear ghosties. You know, it's not how it works. You know, it's. Oh, I just got my dog all riled up from doing that. But that's not how it works, guys. That's why I created a video where I showed you the inside of this. I sent you links of where to get the stuff if you want to make it. There's no big secret, you know, to, you know, you gotta be transparent. You have to show your methods. It's a duck. Gina, what's going on? How are you? Gina is one of the Saving Ghosts OGs. So, Steve-O, if you are still here, I've got a question for you. What type of equipment do you use for your ITC sessions? Oh, Shams, you didn't have to do that, but thank you. Thank you for that. There is, you know, it's funny. Shams is from Brazil, and so there is a language barrier sometimes with us. I have to tell you, her ability to understand me is far better than my ability to understand, you know, unfortunately, you know, the Brazilian language, Portuguese, I believe. So excuse my ignorance, but she has been such a good supporter of not just the channel, but me as well. She's been so kind, and for there being that language barrier, to be able to surpass that is just phenomenal. So, Shams, I thank you. I thank you. I thank you. See, explaining how things work is important so that people understand. Exactly. And this is what I love about you guys. I and I don't mean it as a fluff. I love everybody. No, seriously, no. There are people I do not love. I'm proud to say it. There are people out there I can't stand, but when I hear things like this, when I see things like this, you guys are phenomenal because you understand it. You get it. You are part of the group of people who is, I believe, fighting to demand more transparency, demand that some people stop the nonsense that they're doing because it is affecting the rest of us. And for those of us who are sincere in what we do and who are really just trying to do good stuff, it affects us. HSP1, okay. Yeah, I have used the HSP1 for quite a while. It was so funny. That's how Josh and I first met, because I had tried a previous app. I won't mention the name, but I didn't really get any results out of it. And then I saw that Josh had come out with his HSP1, the original app. Keep in mind, he and I hadn't really spoken a whole lot before this. And I tried the app, and I had made a comment about how it reminded me of another app that I got no responses with, so I wasn't very hopeful for this app. And I tried it, and I got some results, but it wasn't great. And Josh reached out to me, and if you've ever spoken to Josh, he calls you brother. So he's like, "Hey brother, I just want to reach out to you and explain the situation with the app," which he later came out with a video on. And then he said, "I want to show you how to use the app because you have the idea, you're just not quite doing it right." And so he showed me how to use the app, and that's how Josh and I actually got to know each other and started to talk. And I know that anybody who does this work, you're going to have people who are they're either going to love you or they're not going to stand you. But Josh has been, when we have spoken, he's been very polite to me. He stands his ground on certain things. I stand my ground on certain things, but it's all in respect. So, I guess I just needed to say that. He has been very, very kind to me, very polite to me. So, I want to thank him. No, Shams, you had your channel before me. You've been on longer than I have, or so I thought. Thank you, Gina. I appreciate that. And Gina, again, Gina has been with me since day one. I don't know. So next to the glowing ball, just to the right, I don't know if you guys can see that or not. Can I solo that camera? Anyways, there is a feather wand there that Gina sent me years ago, and I still have it. So Gina, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Elia. I have known Elia since 7th grade. We were in band class together. And so, it feels good to still know people that you've known for so long. Dawn, I definitely agree with the whole transparency topic. You won't get subscribers. And it's not so much... I know that YouTube is a tricky beast, because on one hand, you make content because you want people to see it, but on the other hand, you don't want your entire goal to just be views and subscribers, because then you can start going to the dark side of the force, type of thing. And So there's a fine balance that you have to have there. And no, you're not going to please everyone. But once you have been debunked, and you have been debunked on a regular basis, it's hard to come back from that. It is hard to suddenly start going pure again, because it's almost like having a lover that cheated on you. You know, once that trust has been broken, it's hard to gain it back again. That's why doing lives and showing how you do work is so important. Let's see, I run 2 channels, SK Paranormal and Steve-O. Oh, very cool. I'm going to have to check you out, man. Josh has spoken about you, so I will definitely check you out. Let's see, SB7 is my... I love the PSB7. I'm sorry that I don't have mine anymore. It was... I sent it to someone on accident. It was part of I was building a thing at the time called the Angel Phone, and I forgot that I had mine attached to it when I sent it off. So, but I love the PSP7. And I have absolutely no problem with someone who wants to take the PSP7 and plug it into an amplified device, because it does help you hear it. And if you do want to throw on 2 guitar pedals, like a reverb and a noise gate to kind of get rid of some of that noise, you can. And I've run the PSP7 like that, and I've also run it with just a speaker plugged into the side, and both have been fantastic. Wow, there's more responses here. Really, Shams? I thought for sure yours was older than mine. Wow. Well, guys, if you have not seen Shams, check out her channel. Just go to Shams YT, and just some really, really cool locations and stuff that she gets into. So, not a problem, man. I got you. No, like I said, Josh he's been kind to me. You know, and I will say that with any channel, once you start getting to a certain size, especially in this particular niche, you're going to have attention drawn to you, negative and positive. I've had negative attention drawn to me, but I'm confident in everything that I do, and I can back up everything that I do. That's why in a lot of my videos, if I'm quoting a source, you will see the source that I got it from. You know, that's why, like, when I do these sessions with the ultrasonic device, I give you guys the raw audio. If you want to go through that audio, you're more than welcome to do it. I have nothing to hide. If what we do is actually to be proven scientifically, you should share your results. You should share how you got there. You should show how you got there. It's not enough to just say, what I did was scientifically proven. How did you prove it? You know, I don't want to go on that tangent again, because I definitely can, but... 1970. It probably feels like that sometimes, doesn't it? Monique, what's going on? How are you? Monique, I apologize to you. I got your email. I am so sorry that I have not responded yet. I did get your email. Completely my bad for not responding, but I will. I promise I will. I'm not quite there yet, Marie. I get confused easily, but I'm not quite there yet. See, this is what I love. We now have a communication going within the members. So, you know, this is great. I would love to go to the UK and do a session. Do some videos. So, okay, so Monique, this is the email that I saw, and I've been meaning to respond to you. So, again, I am so sorry for not having responded as of yet, but let me answer the question now. So, Monique sent me this email. It's been about a week now. How long does it take for a spirit to make its way to heaven? Do you have any idea? How many stages does a spirit have to go through to get to heaven? The thing about this, if I'm to be 100% honest, nobody knows. We all have our theories. Every religion has its theory. Every person who works in paranormal or in ITC, they have their theories. I am no different. I have my theory. I think that once that which makes you you, that energy that makes you you, has left your body, I think you have options. I think that if you want to transition right away, you can. If you want to stick around for a little while until you're more ready, I think you can. But to give you a definitive answer, that is something that that I don't know if anybody could truthfully give, because it's one of those things that I don't think anyone would know until it's actually happened to them. If we are truly energy, and if energy can move at the speed of light or at the speed of thought, then I would think that the time it would take for spirit to make its way to cross over, I think it could be instantaneous. I know there are some people who say it takes 3 days, or others who, say it takes longer because you're put into a waiting room type of situation. I think that there's a possibility that it could happen instantaneously should you choose to want to do that. I hope that makes some sense. I'm only going off of a thought process. Again, I don't feel that there's any 100% solid answer to that, but that's kind of my theory. And and the floor is open to that. If any of you have a thought as to what you think, let me know. Find out when we get there. And I believe that's it. I'd like to think that could be instantaneous. I don't know if this will help out or not. There was years ago, when I was living in Las Vegas. I was maybe 16 years old, and I had a Cocker Spaniel who she'd gotten up in age and she had developed cancer, and we had to put her down because at best she had 6 months to live. So we put her down, and I buried her in the backyard. Not that night, but the night after, I saw her shadow on the kitchen wall. I was in the living room watching TV, and I happened to glance over, and I saw her shadow on the wall. And at first I didn't know what to think about it, and I was confused. Hindsight, I wish I would have done something different. I wish I would have said, "It's okay, girl, you're fine, be well." But I didn't. I kind of froze. And after about, I don't know, maybe 10 seconds, the shadow just kind of went away. So I don't know if that gives any answer to the question or not, because then that puts us at a 24 to 34 hour period. Well, and that's true. We might not be allowed to know. There might be some things that we're just not supposed to know yet because it's not our time to know that yet. Maybe it's, we are supposed to enjoy the here and now. Yeah, have our curiosities, but enjoy the process of living. Let's see, Rebecca is saying, my theory on ascension to heaven is it happens quickly. If you wait too long, I feel you can become earthbound. That's my, and it's a valid opinion. I also feel that way. Okay. And Steve, I think you're spot on. Let's see, Monique. I'm asking for my... Okay. Oh, no. Oh, no, 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 no. Oh, Monique, I am so sorry. I am so sorry. I've had some wonderful conversations with Cliff. And, oh, I am so sorry. You know, there is a beautiful movie that has Robin Williams in it called What Dreams May Come. And that movie helped me to have a better understanding of what could happen once the body dies. And in that movie, he stuck around after he passed, he stuck around to try to comfort her. And it was after he realized that he wasn't comforting her, he was actually making it worse. That's when he chose to then cross over. So maybe there's something to that. You know, we're starting to get into an area of quantum physics now that I don't fully understand. I have some rough ideas, some basic knowledge about a few things, but hey, April, thank you so much. Thanks for popping in. And say hi to your mom if you see her. Gina. Yeah, isn't that a great movie? Guys, if you have not seen the movie What Dreams May Come with Robin Williams, then see it. I wonder, kind of off topic a little bit, I'm gonna try something here. Oh, you know what I can do? Oh, okay, so bear with me, guys. Oh, what happened to my mouse? What dreams may come? I want to see if there is like a log line or a tag line. Okay, so I'm going to do my movie phone. Because I'm really curious to see how this is going to sound. Okay, so this is for What Dreams May Come. Chris Nielsen dies in an accident and enters heaven. But when he discovers that his beloved wife Annie has killed herself out of the grief of her loss, he embarks on an afterlife adventure to reunite with her. Starring Robin Williams, Cuba Gooding Jr., Annabella Sciorra. Now playing. Yeah, it's a super good movie, guys. And what I like about it is that in the movie, the way they depicted hell wasn't faith-based at all. In her particular situation, she was sent to a place where she had to learn what went wrong. And only after she could learn could she then leave. But yeah, beautiful, wonderful movie. It's aging a little bit, but I think it still holds up. The story is phenomenal. So if you guys get a chance to see it, What Dreams May Come, then please do. It is phenomenal. And thank you, Shams, again for becoming a member. I appreciate that. Thank you, Gina. All right, guys. See, I'm trying to find... Oh, there it is. Okay. So, any questions, comments, or concerns? Let's see. Dawn is saying that I've actually seen that happen. A guy's mother passed, and he waited around 4 days before she was buried. She ended up getting trapped in the house. Oh, that he shared with his mother. Oh. Did she get trapped, or did she choose to stay there? I do remember that, Gina. There's a scene where Robin Williams' character is running through it's faces that are embedded in the ground, and one of them says that I only stole from horrible people, still trying to justify why they stole. And it's funny because it made me think, wow, so we can think that we're doing something good when in actuality we're still doing something bad, even though it's against bad people. So it's just, I don't know, it gives you a lot to think about if you really pay attention to the movie. So Maria's saying that it does help smaller channels, that liking, subbing, and commenting, it really does help out. And she's right, we do say it in our videos, but that's kind of how YouTube works. You know, if you see something that a smaller channel is doing, if you can see the direction that they're going into, if you can see the potential in that channel, then like the video, consider subscribing. And if you can see areas where maybe you think they could improve, or maybe just give them an idea, feel free to reach out to the content creator and say, hey, have you ever thought about this? People do it to me all the time, actually, and I've actually made some really good friends through that, because there are things that I don't know. Now, I do know because I have had some members reach out to some of the bigger channels and say, have you considered this, or hey, would you do this? And they've been blocked and they've been banned from those channels, which I personally don't appreciate, because we're a community, so we should be able to help one another out. Absolutely, Steve-O, and you do the same thing. I'll be reaching out to you. All right, brother? See, Gina is saying, wondering about this new device that is in the paranormal magazine you were in. What compelled you to make this device? Well, we all talk about energy. Spirit is energy. We are energy, of the energy that moves that. Or it's cold energy, or it's hot energy. We're always talking about energy, but I don't really see anybody doing any real work with energy. You know, we all have our little K2s or what have you, and yes, I am a fan of the K2. But I wanted to find a way that we could actually reach out to energy. And so the question that I had was, how is it possible to record the sound of nothing? Because I didn't know I didn't know how else to word it. And that led me into ultrasonic frequencies, and specifically bats and bugs, and what scientists in the field use to listen for bats or record bats. And so that led me into, okay, well, how do you listen to bats? And then I started seeing that there's all these devices for bat finders and bat detection. And then I started looking into ultrasonic kits and how can you make ultrasonic sound work. And that's what led me into this. So this, guys, honestly, this is just a project box that I got off of Amazon for like $10. The speaker was one that I did get specifically for this. It is a 3.5 millimeter plug speaker, and I just bought the 3.5 millimeter input, and I got some bat kits, put them in the box. Now what I did do was, instead of connecting everything to a speaker, I connected everything to this output, so I can have either a speaker or I can plug this into a recording device like this, or what have you. And then I connected the positive wires to the back for amplification. But the idea, yeah, it came from animals. And then what I did is I wanted to test it. And so I tested it over a period of time. I documented the testing, the times, the dates, what the results were, and then I wrote a paper on it. And then I submitted that paper, and then it got published in the American Paranormal magazine. There are some other institutes right now that are looking into it and considering publishing it as well. So fingers crossed, guys. So Paranormal Explorations UK, yeah, I'm really trying to grow myself at present. We work extremely hard, especially with all the editing can be tough. People don't realize how much work goes into creating a video, and you know, editing, especially if you're trying to do ITC or anything that has to do with sound, listening through the audio, going through the audio, did you hear what you think you heard, and you had to play it back again, then you had to write down the timestamp. It takes a while. It can take a week easily to edit a video. Hey Steve-O, you do the same. Take care. Pure pure energy. Thank you, Gina. So there is some comments that I can't I can't show, but they are funny. Yeah, Elia, it's kind of in a way what this is. It's not Bluetooth or anything, but you can charge it via USB. You just turn it on back here. Blue light comes on. Plug it in. Turn it on. And here you go. Yeah. No, it was a great little find. It was only a couple bucks off of Amazon. Do EM pumps actually work, or are they trash? The theory, I think, is sound. I've made EM pumps in the past. In fact, when I was first running experiments with this, I had an EM pump aimed at the ultrasonic receiver, and I think that actually helped out. So I would say if you're going to use an EM pump, make your own. That way you know where they come from, you know how it works. If you want to know how to make an EM pump, let me know. I'm not saying that you don't know, but if basically just get a fan. An EM pump. Okay, so all an EM pump is a magnet that's spinning at a high rate. So if you get a fan, like a PC fan, and glue, I would get rare earth magnets, glue those to the top, and then plug it into a power source, you have an EM pump. Now what I would do, because the average EM pump, it just kind of creates a general field of just electromagnetic energy, which, by the way, we as humans do give off through the top of our head in the form of heat. But what I would do is I would try to find a way to harness that EM pump. I would try to direct that energy, either through copper coil or some other type of transducer, to where you can focus that EM energy into a specific area. That way, if you're trying to speak to spirit, you can give them direction. Say, hey, come over here. Try to put your energy over in this area. So in theory, yes, it works. I would be weary of who you get your EM pump from, because there's so many people out there who make ghost hunting equipment, and it's kind of gotten to a point to where I don't trust anybody's stuff but my own. I know it's sad to say, but Gina, you're absolutely correct. Ultrasonic sound has been used in establishing and finding new species. I think there's a lot of promise with this. There's a lot of work that still has to be done with it, but I'm excited about it. Oh, thank you, Don. I gotta tell you, this live is it's a little on the slower side. I'm rusty. It's been a while since we've had a live, and really, I just wanted something where we just did a chat. That's really all I wanted to do. I am more than happy to show you how my stuff works if you want. Again, I've got nothing to hide, so please feel free to ask questions, join in. I don't know everything. I have my theories, I have opinions. so, do you mean the speaker has an amp? I think it does. I did make one, an EM pump with magnets on a fan, and I made that from you and Billy Bones' suggestion. You contacted me and said, hey, instead of trying to go get motors and fans and trying to, really build from scratch, why don't you just get like a PC fan, or you had actually mentioned a higher output fan, and attach magnets to it because you might have a better output. And I thought, oh, you're right. Why don't I? And so that's what I did, and it actually worked out great. Yeah, I would say definitely try it. There's nothing about an EM pump that makes me think they wouldn't work. I have used them in the past. Like I said, I've made them in the past, and I plan on making another one for this device. Just there's some people out there who they make these EM pumps that are just purely electronic, and I don't know. I don't know how I feel about those. I'm a little more old school, I guess. I want to see the motor. I want to see the magnet spinning. I want to know how it's working. I want to have some control and some say over it. No, I have not tried the Panasonic DR60. I can't afford the Panasonic DR60. The thing about the Panasonic DR60 that is so intriguing is that it was the early model of digital recorders, but there was a lot of internal noise within those recorders, which made a bass sound for EVP recording. And so, no, I've looked into the DR60, but I don't have $3,000 or $1,000 to fork out for something like that. Is that something that you have used? Do you have one? If so, what has your luck been with it? Hey, Monique, take care. If there's anything else I can do for you, please just let me know, all right? Well, thank you, Don. Yeah, normally what I was doing for a while is I was, in an attempt to be transparent, I was doing my sessions live. I would show everyone how I was set up. I would do my session, and then the following week, I would show the results of that session. I still kind of do that, but what I'm doing now, and it's just because that this device, just by its design, it doesn't allow for real-time audio monitoring. I mean, you can hear the frequency, but you're not able to hear voices come through because you have to take off this top layer of just hiss and room noise to be able to get underneath to where the real audio is at. But what I do, what I do is I attach the raw audio from this to the video. So if anyone wants to download it, they can, and then they can go through and they can listen. And I try to give timestamps so that people know, what time to go to try to find where those voices were at. I used to sell EM pumps. They were just a few bucks. I got into a phase where I was making devices and selling them because I was upset over people charging thousands of dollars for something that really only cost about 400 bucks. Right now, there is a content creator out there who is selling a device that he makes and he's selling it for $1,800, and I priced out the items and it only cost $400 to make. So I did make them at a price that was affordable for people. I haven't done that in quite a while, but I can either, I can either make one for you. I'm happy to do that, or I can send you links to the actual items so that you can make one yourself. They're not that hard. I hate to say it. I know people would like to say, oh, the science in behind the EM pump and dragging in the electromagnetic energy and blah, 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 blah. It's not that hard to make. They're very simple. And when I see someone charge $200-300 for an EM pump, it blows my mind. You shouldn't retail price. I don't think anyone should pay more than 45 bucks, 30 bucks for an EM pump. Retail. It should only cost you 10, maybe, to make one. So hopefully that helps out a little bit. Yeah, I can imagine what kind of EM energy those types of fans would just pour out. I will not say. Thank you, Don. I can hear the music now in the background. That is so weird. Mixed like with EVP capturing on. Yeah, it's funny. I have tried EVP recording on cell phones, on tape recorders. Tape recorders, I've had better luck with. Cell phones, not so much. This thing, knock on wood, so far, I've been able to get some good responses with. I want to go back to that fort with this new music digitizer attached to it and see what kind of responses I can get, because I was really kind of jazzed about what came out last time. Michael, I totally get it. Yeah, when I see, people who are using the DR60, I'm like, wow. I would have to give an arm and probably some other body part to be able to, get the DR60. And then I start thinking, is it something that I would get and actually use, or is it something that I would get for the novelty of it? And so no, I've seen some people. I know that Josh from Hope, he used the DR60 for quite some time, and he seemed to have decent results with it. And no, I love the idea of it. I just like, nah, I can't afford it. How was the Sony ICD? I've seen it, and I've been curious about it. I try to when I can. The thing is about paranormal in general is it's not as exciting as a lot of these channels make it out to be. A lot of it's hurry up and wait. I mean, it really is. And I can't tell you how many times when I do a session, I'm kind of, I'm puckering just a little bit because, I don't know if I'm getting anything or not. And so when I get something, I'm ecstatic for it. And what it does tell me is that there are more spirits around us than I think we realize. When you figure that humankind has been on this earth for how many thousands and thousands of years, and how many people have perished worldwide through all that time. That is a lot of spirit energy just kind of floating around, you know? Yeah, absolutely. I always look forward to your nonsense, Marie. Yeah, if anyone's ever interested in building an EM pump, literally just get a fan. It can be a PC fan. It can be a room fan. It can any kind of fan, and then just get rare earth magnets. And what I would do, what I have done in the past, is I've just used Gorilla Glue, and I glue them to the fan blades. And then I will, if it's like a PC fan, then I'll connect the red and black wire to an on-off switch, and then to like a 9-volt battery case, and then I'll put that just in a project box, and you're done. A project box will cost you about $4. The most expensive is going to be the magnets. You know, PC fan, again, about $5. On-off switch, a dollar. I mean, it's pretty easy to do. Very nice. All right, Michael. You know, I'm going to check out your channel if you don't mind, sir, and because I'd like to see what those results are like. And thank you for sharing, by the way. Okay, Marie, take care. I'm assuming you're going then. I agree. Yeah, we have a lot of people, or we see a lot of people who like to go to graveyards or who like to go to abandoned buildings, and they have to do it at night because that's when spirit energy is the highest and all this other stuff. No, go to a park in the afternoon. You know, go to your favorite ice cream parlor. You know, sit outside, do a session there. Spirits are everywhere. All right, Marie, take care. Have a great night. And you know what, guys, and it's just like this. You know. Let's see. My spirit, a little girl called Lily, who we picked up at location. Oh, so if she attached to you, first off, I would ask, is she really a child? Because I always question whether or not they're really kids. And if she followed you, do you mind her sticking around, or do you want her to leave? Sony ST25. Sweet, I'm going to check that out, Michael. Thank you. Do you prefer Mike or Michael, by the way? And literally, guys, you can go to eBay, Amazon. There are some specialty stores as well, but just look up bat detector. If you wanna try this, just look into bat detector, and you will see so many different options. If you want to try it, you know, Michael, it's funny. In the Saving Ghosts group, we have a private group, which anyone can, you know, ask to join, by the way. When we heard that Tina Turner passed, we automatically put up a poll as to who did we think was going to be the first one to do a session. And, you know, there were some regulars who who made that poll. So, you know, let them rest for a little while. You know, there's no reason to hop on and do a session right away. And frankly, I'm sorry, guys, and I know I've spoken about this before, but in this day and age where we have so much AI going on and we have so much voice manipulation taking place, I have a hard time when I see someone. There is a name I will throw out there. When I see someone like Cody ITC, let's say, who comes out and says that they're going to do a session for someone, and that person's voice comes through perfectly and it's in their voice. I have done this since 2000, and there's only been one time where I can think of when someone's voice came through and it sounded like them, but it was for a brief second. But to get that person's voice in every single session, I'm sorry, with the amount of AI that's going around, Respeecher, I've talked about that one before. You can import anybody's voice, and you can have Respeecher learn that voice, and I could sit here talking just like I am right now, and instead of hearing my voice come through, you'd hear Morgan Freeman, or you would hear Kate Blanchett, whoever. So, yeah. Sorry, guys. I'll get off that bandwagon for a little bit. Oh, okay. Well, hey, if you're good with her hanging around, I had someone follow me. This was the only time that I'm aware of where I had someone follow me. I had come back from the Trans-Allegheny Lunatic Asylum, and the next day, I was up walking around. It was actually getting more to the evening. I was walking past my kitchen table, and you know how you can feel someone just kind of staring at you? Like if you're asleep or taking a nap, and someone just kind of walks up and starts staring at you, you can feel that? Well, that's what I felt. And so I grabbed the K2 meter, and I asked, is there somebody here? If the answer is yes, flash as high as you can. If the answer is no, leave it alone. And it flashed. I thought, oh, okay. And then I asked a few questions. Are you a guide? Or are you someone that I know? And I wouldn't get any responses, which means no. And then I asked, did you follow me from somewhere? And it flashed yes. And I said, did you follow me from Trans-Allegheny? And it flashed yes. I said, okay. Are you male? It didn't say anything. Are you female? And it flashed. And I said, okay, well, I thank you for telling me. Thank you for talking to me. This is my private home, so I do ask, please return through the gateway, the doorway which you came. Please do not attach. Please do not follow. And ended that. As far as I know, they're not around anymore. Let's see. Gina's saying, hate that fake stuff. It is hurting the paranormal industry. I completely agree with that. And that's why these smaller channels, and I'll throw myself in there, smaller channels really can't get ahead, because when you have a million people who believe that Mojo over here is God's gift to the niche, and that what they do is perfect, and that, well, you're not as good as them. Or if they've been debunked, then all of a sudden you're tossed into that group as being a faker as well. And so you're stuck in this middle ground. And so you have to start standing your ground, and I'm seeing more and more people doing that. And I think it's great. I think it's fantastic. And I want to give a shout out to Nick Groff. Now, I've never met the man. I don't know if what he does is real or fake or not. I like to believe that what he does is real. But he has come out and has really been pretty transparent about Zach Bagans and what goes on with Ghost Adventures. And I think it's great. I think it's fantastic. So he's been kind of leading the charge, I think, in that. And we've seen some other people. What I have seen is those who are working in the paranormal either as a hobby or they have their curiosities or whatever. I have been seeing them come out and debunking, which I think is phenomenal. When you have paranormal investigators debunking paranormal investigators, I think it's great. And I think it's about time that happens, because we can sit back and we can watch this stuff and we can see when someone has used a fan to blow puzzle pieces around, or we know when someone has, when they're using a fish line or even like a black thread, and but we see hundreds of thousands of people just eating it up and believing in it. And these smaller channels are like, well, hey, that's not real, and it gets hurtful and it gets insulting after a little while, because here you are busting your butt trying to really just prove as best as you can about the existence of life after death, but you've got Donkey Balls over here who is, they have an air gun that they're aiming at stuff and causing chandeliers to shake and all this other stuff. So I don't know, guys. It's really become a pet peeve of mine. And early on, it was suggested that I not say anything about it, that I leave it alone, and I can't. It's not going to be the main format that I go with. It's not going to be the main topic that I talk about, because I'm really interested in actually pushing the science of consciousness as energy forward. So sorry, guys, I I got on my Apple box again. Sweet. Okay, yeah. As long as there's no issues, if you're cool with her and she's cool with you, yeah, you guys are good to go. Wait, what was? One thing that I have been learning since being on this platform a few years now is I'm learning that it's okay to be more me and to say things that are more in line with me. Obviously, still being respectful, but if I want to call someone monkey balls, I don't feel like it's such a bad thing anymore. Before, I didn't feel that I could, but I don't know. I guess it's I guess it's comfort in one's own skin. Michael, I completely agree. I completely agree. Either they're better than you, or you're fake, or you're not real. And I believe that if we have a community of people who are actually trying to do real research, I don't see a problem with sharing that research. I start to have an issue when you hear people who are supposed to be leaders in this, as far as YouTube is concerned, saying that this is scientifically proven and it's unexplainable. It burns me when I hear that. And when I hear people talk about the algorithm, oh, well, the algorithm has to be just right. Well, okay. You toss around the word algorithm a lot. Why don't you educate people on what exactly you mean by that algorithm? Let me tell you what that algorithm is. Usually, it's a guitar amplifier. You have a reverb pedal, and then you have a noise gate pedal. Some reverb pedals you can program. You can download programs from the manufacturer to where you can change certain settings. That is the algorithm, as far as I know, that they're talking about. But they don't want to tell you that. They want it to sound magical and mysterious. Which, okay, yeah, let's keep some... I don't know. I was going to try to be nice and say, yeah, I can kind of understand keeping an air of mystery about it. But why? People want to know. People, there are people out there who they want to know what happens once you leave your body. Is this it, or is there more? So... You think iChord is 100% real? I get that. I totally get that. I have been told on more than one occasion that my my channel is boring. Well, first off, let's take a look. I'm 49 years old, guys. I'm past the point of wearing a ball cap sideways and running into spooky places and doing the whole bro, did you hear that? Like the twins. Bro, did you hear that? No, you know? I've gone to college. I've been in the military. And I'm not saying this to pat myself on the back, but what that stuff does do is form a personality type. And so I have curiosities. I have real curiosities, and I want to investigate those curiosities as best as I know how to do. Okay, so Don, yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about regarding the algorithm. Are you serious? Michael, are you in Las Vegas? Wait, I think you are, because I think you mentioned something about the weather earlier, right? That's my hometown. Yeah, and Zach, he's originally from Michigan, but then he moved to Las Vegas, and I believe he went to school for filmmaking. And I think, brain fart, I forgot his name that quick. Nick went to college to be a filmmaker as well. 48. Give it up for the old dudes doing paranormal. Nah, we're not old. We're just good. We're seasoned. We are like a fine wine. You know, I have no problem with aging. I have a problem getting old. I will say that. That's why there's mascara on my goatee and mustache here, because otherwise it's going to be pure white. Yeah, so I was going to be on camera, so it's like, no, pull out the mascara, man. Let's let's add some color to that face. Absolutely. Vegas. Yeah, I graduated from the Southern Nevada Vocational Technical Center in television production. And yeah, there's parts of Vegas that I really do miss. I miss the warmth. I miss the weather. I actually do miss the desert. I never thought I'd hear myself say that, but I do miss the desert. I have family out there. I have all my friends are out there, or at least in Arizona or Utah. And yeah, so it's a different world out here in Western Pennsylvania. That is awesome. We're not oldies. We're goodies. No, seriously. Oh, I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. We should create some sort of a group. We should create some sort of a, paranormal over 50 type of group. Paranormal over 40. I don't know, something. Outlaw Warrior, what's going on? Hey brother, how are you? It's been forever since we've talked. Outlaw Warrior, we used to have a Patreon page. When I was trying to grow the channel, and maybe I was trying to grow too fast, and so I had a Patreon page, and Outlaw Warrior was part of that, and always had really good conversations. Yeah, wonderful, wonderful, wonderful guy. Thank you, Morning Dove. Morning Dove, whatever happened to Billy Bones? Absolutely we are. We are the Star Wars generation. We are the He-Man generation, Thundercats generation. We saw the birth of the home computer. We saw the birth of Star Trek Next Generation in, 88, 89? Gen X rules. Awesome, awesome, awesome. It's always good to hear from you, man. It really is. The Jared. That is awesome. That is awesome. Oh. Stay tuned for paranormal research from the hip replacements. Oh, man. Absolutely the Atari 2600. Yeah, I had, with the 2600, I had Empire Strikes Back, Raiders of the Lost Ark, Pac-Man. Everyone had Pac-Man, and I forget what other games. Frogger. Frogger was one of my favorites. Jungle Hunt was one of my favorites. Yeah, I was rocking the Atari. Wouldn't that be hilarious? You know, an over 40 group of paranormal researchers. That would be awesome. Understood. So we will give our respects to Billy Bones. Silver Spectre Society. Galaga. Oh, Pitfall Harry. We could call ourselves the Cocoons. I loved Asteroids was a good one. Moon Patrol was good. I loved Cubert. My favorite game though in the 80s, it was right around 80, was it 84 or 86, was Dragon's Lair. When Dragon's Lair and Space Haze came out, because Don Bluth, who animated those, he was my favorite animator at the time. So when those games came out, oh man, it was on like Donkey Kong. Hey, get out of there. Get out of there. That is awesome. Tetris, absolutely. Yeah, I'm telling you, man, 80s were fantastic. Home life was crap, but the 80s themselves, fantastic. I remember, see, my mom, she was all about rock and roll and like country rock and stuff like that. But my stepdad, yeah, he was more of the like old, like Roy Rogers type country and gospel country. Oh, that was a big one in our household, was gospel country. So I wasn't allowed to listen to anything on MTV or whatever when he was around. If it was just me and my mom, then yeah, MTV was on, and John Cougar Mellencamp, Michael Jackson was huge during the 80s, Aerosmith. But no, when he was around, I wasn't allowed to listen to any of that stuff because that was music of the devil. That was Satan's music. And I don't think that Tiffany, I think We're Alone Now, is necessarily something that you're going to play backwards and, tell you to bite the heads off of bats or anything like that. So, just saying. Oh yeah, 80s were fantastic. And if you graduated in 1980 or right around there, then yeah, if your 20s were all throughout the 80s, oh man, you had it made. My teens years was in the 80s. In Search Up with Leonard Nimoy. Yes. Do you guys remember the Bilbo Baggins song that Leonard Nimoy came out with? Do you guys remember that at all? It is the most interesting piece of music I have ever seen, and I really do think that in order to watch it, You should probably be on some sort of a hallucinogen. Oh, Shatner singing Rocket Man? Rocket Man! Oh. Oh, Tiffany. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. That's all I will say about that. Yeah, 80s were fantastic. Man, we had Z Cavaricis, we had high tops. There was a lot of shoulder pads in the 80s. You know, there was a lot of Aquanet hair, a lot of depth gel. The Bat Out of Hell album was one of his absolute best. Absolute best. Yeah, I miss the 80s, man. You know, there's, you know, when they, if you could do a do-over, there's a specific time in the 80s that, yeah, I'd go back to and I'd redo all over again. So. Wasn't Samantha Fox Australian? If I remember right? I didn't mind the shoulder pads because it made it look like I had a body. If we were all within driving distance of each other, I would love to throw an 80s party. You know, let's pop the collar, let's feather the hair, you know, let's put Rod Stewart on. Yeah, totally. Did you guys ever roll up the cuff of your jeans? You know, like fold it over and then roll it up? Yes, yes. Anti-establishment. Oh, you know what? I might have something I can show you guys. Give me 1 second. I might. I can't promise. I can't promise. But I might have something that I can share with you. Since we're talking about. Actually, I have two things that I can share with you. One definitely, one I am trying to find. Oh. Give me a moment. Okay. Do you guys want to see me in late 1980s? Absolutely. Oh, come on. Michael, you can fit into your Cavaricis. You know you can. Okay, so this is a picture from when I had hair and I was, you know, I thought it was important to be, you know, professional and serious. I don't know how well you guys can see that. Yeah. Oh, I wish I had that hair back. I wish I had that hair back. But instead, I have to push it forward, do a loose, very, very loose, faux hawk, and then sprinkle it on. Oh, I don't know about dapper. So, some of you may know, here's another older picture. Some of you may know. Well, I'm never going to give you up. Never going to let you down. So, some of you may know that I worked for Star Trek for about 4 years. There wasn't a lot of photos of me taken at that time. But I do have I don't know if you can There we go. So that is me and the Bridge of the Enterprise in Engineering Gold. For those of you who may be Star Trek fans, I know that Elia and Morning Dove remembers that. I know Amitav very well. We have spoken many times over the phone. And yeah, we know each other very well. I believe she lives in Utah now. That's right. That's where we, because we lost contact after school, Elia, and then that's when we met each other again, wasn't it? Yeah, not a badass. Not by any means. Trying to act like one, but that was that was such a good time. We're talking about fun times and stuff like that, but anyway, yeah, memory lane. We're talking about the '80s, and that just kind of struck some memories. But yes, I do know Amitav. There's a handful of people that I do know. We don't talk all the time, but I think I have pushed some people away because of how outspoken I have gotten lately in regards to not doing celebrity sessions or trying to be more transparent. So there are some people who have backed off a little bit, and there are others who have stepped forward. So it all balances out. You know, Deanna Troy was hot, but I had a thing for Dr. Crusher. That was, yeah, Beverly Crusher. That was, I was so jealous that Jean-Luc was, I was like, come on, Captain, she's right there. She wants you. You want her. What's the holdup? Resistance is futile. Yep, it is. It is. Anyway, guys, I have definitely taken up more than enough of your time. Again, this was just going to be a hello, just a reintroduction, kind of meet everyone, answer any questions, do a Q&A. Worf has gotten better with time. Worf was good. I didn't really like him like the first couple of seasons of Next Gen, but as you got towards the end of Next Gen, especially once he got onto DS9, Worf was just, yeah, I really became a fan of Worf at that point. Wow, the Huntridge is one of the coolest theaters in Las Vegas. It was originally a movie theater that I used to go to all the time. Then it closed down. Then it became like a music venue type theater, and then I believe it caught on fire. The roof caught on fire, and that was the last I heard. I was worried they were going to demolish it, but I heard that there was that there were individuals who were trying to restore it. So I'm happy to hear that it's going to reopen. Is it going to reopen as a regular theater or as a music? Excuse me, or as a music venue again? Donna, it's okay. We forgive you. Usually someone is either a Star Trek or a Star Wars fan. I'm definitely more of a Star Wars fan. I like that dirty, grungy future that they've got going on. But Star Trek definitely does have a special place in my heart. But I'm also a big sci-fi fan. So, anyways, guys, I think it's about time we can start calling this to an end. It has been 2 hours, gang. 2 hours of hopefully just getting to know each other a little bit more, and and we will try to do this more often. If there is anything in particular you would like to see me do a live over, let me know. I'd be more than happy to do that. And see, thank you so much, Don. I appreciate that. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, this was fun. It was good to get back into it. And fun and topics. Yeah, just, again, it's not often that we get to sit back and just chat with one another. So I'm happy to do this. And yeah, guys, let me know if you have any ideas for any lives you'd like to see me do in the future. And we will work to music and movies. Fantastic. That is awesome. I'm actually really happy to hear that. Yeah, the 100, yeah, that theater needs to stick around. Absolutely, I can do that. I can definitely do that. Because I have nothing to hide. All right, guys. I'm going to go feed my face. I don't know what I'm going to eat yet, but I'm going to eat something. Enjoy the rest of your day if you are on the West Coast. Enjoy the start of your evening if you're on the East Coast. If you are overseas, good night. And I will just see you all later on. All right, guys, take care, and thank you all so much for joining in. I appreciate it. Thank you. Take care.